off camera, we was talking about a lot of different things, like real life shit and
what's going on in the world right now, man.
Yeah, and what's going on? One of the things we was talking about is the election.
Definitely.
And we was talking about them trying to assassinate Trump. We talked about that.
Where you were in here when that happened?
Yeah, I was sitting in here with my cousin.
I mean, were we all doing the same thing, just looking at it in awe? Like, how could that be happening right now? Or?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's kind of crazy right there. Yeah, when I first seen the headline, I'm like, nah, that's some bullshit.
Then again, we're from the era where, we were in school when 9/11 happened. That was the last, like, significant thing then, next to assassination. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been alive for some crazy shit, man.
Yo, for real.
You know what I'm saying?
9/11 was crazy. I was in like the 7th grade, I think.
I don't think I really appreciated it at the time for what it was. I mean, when the first word got out, we didn't know what the fuck was going on. But I mean, I think as we've gotten older, you realize how significant that event was, and what it means to be attacked here. And yeah, just so many people lost their lives for what, man? Like, why did that even happen? When it's crazy, as time goes by, people start needing the whys. They need to understand some certain things, and there's a lot of questions, around 9/11, dude. There's a lot of, listen, us conspiracy theorists get really shit on nowadays, but I mean, I think of it as critical thinking, man. I've seen a lot of things that have blown my fucking mind that, like, I couldn't believe. I would never guess was happening in front of me. So I think if you're around certain things, man, you become a skeptic. You at least question, healthy questioning of things. What's going on with it? Why is this here? Why is that there? Understanding both sides of the story. I mean,
so are you saying you doubt that
you're gonna make
9/11 was?
Gonna put me on like that?
You brought it up, so I mean that's what we're gonna talk about right now.
Listen. We all got YouTube, right? The thing that really is the most to me? Let's just think of this practically. 2 gigantic buildings got hit high up on the building. It wasn't, both of them weren't middle, they were high up. So if a large object going significantly fast hits a building high up, do you think that's going to collapse? And what do people throw at me with that? Oh, the gas was so hot that it burned the beams down. Bull fucking shit, dude. I blow shit up in the military. I understand how shit falls. I know what a controlled detonation is, motherfucker. That was a controlled bro. I swear to God. And listen, I didn't grow up this way, dude. Y'all made me this way with your shady shit going on in the world, man. Straight up. Like, I wasn't someone that questioned shit. I can go with the program as long as there's not a lot of waves, you know what I'm saying? But listen, man, you said yourself, you're someone that's surface level. You don't like, hot, wild stories. Pause. I don't mean it like that, but you know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
But I don't know. You can't even, you can't, nothing's weird to you about that?
Nah.
Nothing. So that's just another day.
Not just another day. It's a crazy day, but I don't think there's some like government conspiracy behind.
I don't even know if 9/11. It's a government conspiracy, dude. Like, I don't even know who it is. Someone allowed that to happen. That's the only way it would happen. And listen, dude, I don't think that plane could make that whole thing collapse like that. Not only that, I've heard people on the ground talking about explosions, dude. I've seen videos of the towers falling, and I've seen like a flash.
Now, we should point out, of course, your position, I think our position here at Redacted, is that this was a controlled demolition of the towers and that these airplanes were not the reason these towers came down. Is that an accurate description of your position on this?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, the evidence overwhelmingly demonstrates that the Twin Towers, as well as World Trade Center Building 7, were brought down by controlled demolition. So, and this video certainly confirms that in numerous ways.
All right, let's talk about it. So let's get into it. So this new video that people have never seen before, a large portion of it, confirms a controlled demolition of the towers on 9/11. Can you go through some of the points here that you'd like to make, and we can call out what caught your eye kind of looking at this new footage?
Yeah, so I think the thing that stood out to most people when they saw this was the flashes that are very visible. Particularly, there's a line of flashes on the lower portion of the building as the top starts to go down. I would also love to draw people's attention to a very bright flash that occurs further up on the building, and this is on the northeast corner of the south tower. And when you think about it, there's no reason for a bright flash, if this is just a natural building collapse, to be occurring well above the impact zone or well above where where the collapse is actually happening. But we see this bright flash, and we also see structural damage to the corner of the building very close to it. And so naysayers will say, well, those are just, who knows what that is? That's just the sun reflecting off the windows. Well, we know that this is actually something else other than that. And we think that it's a demolition charge because you can actually identify the same flash in numerous videos. If you line up the videos and you can do this carefully and line them up. And we actually just published a paper 2 months ago in the Journal of 9/11 Studies that has done this meticulous analysis that shows that this particular flash can be seen in numerous videos. So there's no way that if it's a reflection from the sun off of a window that you're going to see that same flash at that same moment from numerous angles. It can only be seen from one angle. And so we get this bright flash, and so you can look at the video of that. I've provided that video so your viewers can see it. We've kind of pointed out where that flash is. And very close to that flash, kind of where the arrow is pointing, you also see structural damage being done to the corner of the building. Again, if you have the top that's falling and it's a rigid block, right, and the damage that should be done to that portion of the building should be at the bottom. Why is there structural damage being inflicted upon a part of the building that's it's 10 or 15 stories higher, right? And so in that paper I mentioned in the Journal of 9/11 Studies by a researcher named Soren Korsgaard, he looks at that damage from a few different angles. Now that we have this video, we can really see that damage even much better. It's basically a big hole in the corner of the building. So if it's just light reflecting off of windows, it's not going to cause damage, to that kind of damage to the building. But so we see that severe structural damage associated with the flash and a couple of flashes way above the impact zone.
So this really confirms what you've already seen. I mean, that's powerful, right? I mean, even without this video, you were able to determine that there were charges going off above where we were supposed to have this impact zone.
Yes. So and I provided a second video for your viewers to see, where it's another video where the researcher Soren Korsgaard identified this flash from another angle. And this is filmed by a guy named Anthony Rosario. And I mean, you can see the flash there very brightly. Notice that you can't see it you can't see the damage to the building as well because it's from a different angle. But what that shows you is that this flash actually was a very three-dimensional event. It wasn't just, it was sticking out far from the building, right? So the new footage helps us really solidify what we knew, and it provides a much better view of the actual damage. And of course, shows the video to tens of millions of people who've now seen it.
For someone who's just learning about this for the first time, wait a minute, there were demolition charges that brought down the towers? There were all sorts of eyewitnesses, firefighters, police officers, eyewitnesses who confirmed explosions and demolition charges going off, did they not?
Absolutely, yeah. So there's upwards of 200 eyewitness accounts of explosions going off during the collapse of the towers. The great majority of them are first responders, such as firefighters or Port Authority police officers, but also several dozen news reporters. In fact, I co-authored a paper where we identified 36 reporters who basically described the collapse of the buildings as being an explosion or being brought down by explosives or that sort of thing, or seeing explosions running down the face of the building. So there's overwhelming wealth of eyewitness evidence that explosions were taking place.
Bro, that's a controlled death. And not only that, like, people always say, like, you'd hear it, it'd be louder. Anyways, so explosions. Think about that, dude. That's a huge building. Why would it just collapse? Why wouldn't the top just fall off? You know what I'm saying?
I don't fucking know.
You're confident in that, there was nothing shady going on, dude.
I just don't think the government has a reason to.
Once
just
again, I
blow
don't
up
know
the
if it was the
buildings.
government. I don't know exactly who it was. It was someone that wanted to get the Patriot Act in effect.
Yeah, no, I don't draw a connection between the two of those things.
Have a few late nights on YouTube looking this stuff up, and you will. It's not fun, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to believe that shit, dude. I don't.
But you
Really
gotta,
think about
Nick,
that.
you gotta remember they put anything on YouTube. Like, this is gonna be on YouTube.
Listen, I get it. I understand.
Anybody can put anything on YouTube.
They also put a lot of accurate shit on YouTube too.
No, that's true, but I'm just saying it could go either way though. It could be
Facts.
some bullshit.
I'm aware.
It could
I'm
be
aware.
some bullshit. It could just.
I think that falls on us having a true, North Star, North Compass, and common sense applies to a lot of things, dude. That's a rare thing. I mean, you see people out here.
So, what do you think someone's motivation would be in doing that?
Listen, I'm not pretending to understand why that's happening or what is going on there. I'm just telling you things that look off to me. And when certain things that I'm confident in look off, when there's smoke, there's fire, bro. Every time I've seen smoke, there's been fire. And when little things are off, big things are off, the tree comes down, dude. I'm telling you. Listen, I'm not saying I know everything or I'm super confident in it. I just know it's a shady situation. And the fact that some bumfuck Taliban that never have flown a plane before somehow came to the United States, trained to be a pilot, and no one knew about that, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, bro. I don't know. I don't want to think that, because what I'm saying, I get. You're saying that someone that may be in the government or maybe in one of these three-letter agencies constructed this, killed our own. I don't want to fucking think that, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But what if that's true? What if we really are living in a place like that? I mean, look what's going on today. We got Ukraine. We got Israel, Palestine. I mean, I showed you that earlier, dude. You didn't know that. Currently, right now, this presidential administration is sending multi-million, what do you say? What'd you say? $40 to $90 million a week?
$17 billion has been sent to the Taliban.
The current administration, Mr. Joe Biden, has been sending $40 million, Americans' tax dollars, every week that ends up in Afghanistan.
The amount of money on the plane weekly is $43 million to $87 million.
Your tax dollars are funding the Taliban right now. And this has been going on since September 2021.
We are paying Taliban families for basically dying while attacking us.
This is just enraging.
And, I asked a couple of people that question straight out, do you not think this is not ethically correct? And actually, one person gave me an answer of, well, it'll stop them from joining ISIS. I'm like, the Taliban guy's already dead. They give you these bullshit excuses as to why they're funding our enemies and not paying attention to the fucking money.
What's her name, though? I don't even remember what her name was.
I should have looked up her name. I don't know. She's on the Sean Ryan podcast.
How do we know she's not full of shit?
Listen, I could be full of shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't think, I'm sure if she's on the Sean Ryan podcast,
She
she's
said
been
they're
vetted.
sending $40 to $80 million.
It's not just her either, dude. This has been confirmed. The
They're
administration
sending $40 to $80 million
to the Taliban right now for the welfare of the families of the Taliban members we killed. So, which I seriously doubt they're getting the money. So you're telling me I'm saying right now that our administration is paying the Taliban. The force that we just were at, not war, engaged with in Afghanistan. We're paying them right now. How absurd is that? That blows my mind that my tax money is going there to the Taliban. You got me riled up now.
If that's true, that's fucking crazy.
Right? Does
That would be
not
crazy.
Change some things in your mind? If that's just true.
If that's true, that's crazy, but I don't think it's true, though.
Okay. Y'all look that up.
I don't think it's true.
And flood Bam's comments about how wrong he is, man.
They need to send me $40, $80 million a day. Shit.
Look at the border right now, too. Why are these people being let in our country, and why are they being supported by our government? They're given cell phones. They're given money. They're giving places to live, dude. What is going on? That's so wild to me. I'm surprised that like more people are not talking about that. That's even people that have immigrated here. They got to be fucking furious. They went through all that shit to come here, and these motherfuckers are just being let in.
What makes you think they're just being let in?
How are they here? How are they? Why are they not deported? Why are they? What do you mean, bro? Of course they're being let in. They're given debit cards. They're given cell phones. And I don't even know who directly I'm talking about because there's Chinese people coming here illegally and living here. What? Military-aged males. I mean, there's so much news that comes out. Like, we forget about all the shit that's happened. What about that fucking... Do you remember that thing that just floated across the states?
That was fucking insane.
What?
The balloon.
It's a big deal when anything's in our airspace that we don't know what it is.
That was crazy.
That's a huge deal. And they just let that just do its thing.
That was
we'll see where it ends up.
No, didn't they shoot one down?
Who knows?
They shot one down.
Who knows what really
one of those balloons got shot down. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but I remember it being on the news and them talking about, yeah, well, it's over here right now, and it's steady going this like it's the weather. You feel me?
I think there was one that they shot down, and then there was another one that they were saying it was they knew it was just the weather balloon. I ask you about the immigrant comment, right?
Yeah, please.
So when you say, the way you make it sound, it was just like people are just walking over, like when you say they're letting people in, who's they?
So when in the first days of the Biden administration, a bunch of policies that the Trump administration had put in place in order to secure the border were overturned, and then things started to go south in a really big way. Do you know firsthand if people in the border, that Customs Border Patrol agents actually advised Mr. Mayorkas that, hey, you need to reverse these policies to stop this, this tidal wave that's coming into the United States?
Again, I wasn't there. It's my understanding that they did. Chief Scott was there in the Border Patrol advising the Biden administration, so I'm sure he can answer.
Well, Mr. Scott, can you answer that question?
Yeah, he was informed verbally. He was informed in writing. I think it's important for everybody to understand everything fundamentally changed. When I worked for Secretary Wolf, we had team meetings. We were asked for our input. We were told over your career what works and what doesn't work. On January 20th, 2021, that all got shut off. DHS, the Secretary even went to the step of shutting down the integrated teams of career professionals that were brought into DHS ops to provide guidance. Our input was no longer solicited, and when my team and I gave it unsolicited, we were basically put in a box. They did not want to know what we had to say. They made it very clear, expedite processing and find new ways to let migrants into the U.S. That was the only agenda.
Exactly, which is on purpose, really circumventing U.S. law.
100% on purpose, scripted out, and the Secretary is not incompetent.
No, I know he's not incompetent. He's derelict, without a doubt.
So there's so many people coming over the border right now that they're overwhelmed. They have nowhere to put them. Not only that, the administration's not letting them turn them away. If they see someone coming across the border illegally, they can't do anything. That's why Border Patrol is like somewhat revolting right now.
So you're saying that they don't get arrested when people come across the border?
No, bro.
They don't arrest them?
No, we set them up. What do you mean? They need a cell phone. They need some racks in their bank account because they got to live, bro. That's what's happening. You're laughing, but that is happening right now, dude.
So, I mean, I heard that, but I guess I got to look into it more.
Which you should do, and I agree with you.
I got to look into it more because...
Absolutely. I'm saying some wild shit right now. I get it.
I think...
Unfortunately, it's true.